terminating, hibernum, initiating, Vernus program, temperature, 10 degrees Celsius and rising, humidity, 70%, time, 0700 AM.
Project FuN, we are doing it together with organizations from Netherlands, Theaterschip and Atelier, NDM from Ostrava, Czech. And it's built upon the artivism. It's kind of this umbrella term that we were exploring, and it was started from the wish to give the youngsters a chance and a place and somehow the forum of 21st century where they can speak about the topics that are relevant to them and they need to be spoken about, but they get pushed down or they get spoken about and decided by the generation that it's not actually going to live in the future. So giving them an open public space to discuss the topics relevant to them. And we explored it in 3 different subtopics, so to speak. So in Czech it was social inclusion, in the Netherlands it was climate change, climate crisis, and in the Slovenia it was gender inequality or gender. We were drawn to the word and form of manifesto because it's like this public, outspoken way of expressing themselves, and that they can choose whatever form they want to express their own opinion.
I think it's mostly about to give the youngsters their voice, their play, their space to tell others what they feel, what they feel like their problems are about.
It's basically kind of raising awareness about certain issues that affect young people. So it's kind of for young people, by young people.
It was inclusion, but during the process we turn it to self-love, body shaming, social media, pressure.
That happened throughout the research you did before the project.
Yes, yes.
It's good to share experience like internationally, because sometimes it gives you the feeling that you are not alone, that the experience is the same, but sometimes there are differences, and you can and you get new perspective.
So we first started talking about artivism in general. We had several workshops with them, what activism means, how we can relate it, or how we can put it together with art, and how we can extract the things that are important to them and how to perform it in a really exact way that you can get to the point. And then we started with talks and discussions with them about gender, how they feel, if it affects their daily life or if it doesn't, in which way, if they are feeling that they are really put in these binary forms of being male or female, or if there is a way of expressing other non-binary forms or their way of expressions. And from that, from the conversations, from the homeworks, from the discussions, we slowly started building the scenes together.
Before we started making the manifesto itself, we had a bunch of workshops where we kind of made flash mobs. I think one was about abortion, and it was basically, it had to be very to the point and very clear what we were trying to say, because it's meant to be performed like on the streets for passerbys.
Chris, the director, didn't say, here's the script, learn the text, and then we're going to play it. We started by doing research, and we all chose a topic that we really liked. So climate change, we divided it into multiple topics. So one topic was, how do different generations look at climate change? And then the second one was, what is climate change actually, scientifically? And we had another one, which was, how would the end of the world look? And each one of us chose our favorite topic. We did research.
I wasn't really expecting to be working like that, because I mean, everyone is probably more used to the traditional theater, like you get a script and then you play it out. And at the beginning it was kind of hard because the actors didn't really understand what we were doing, and you know, we were saying one thing and the mentors were saying another thing, and then we kind of clashed a little bit. So we had to they had to kind of explain to us like how this works, because at one point we just started making a story and writing a script. But then they were like, no, that's not the point of this. So yeah, then
it was really about the process more than about like making a performance.
Yeah. It was more movement based, and we really wanted to speak a lot, but that wasn't the point.
Oh yeah.
We had this like brainstorming and we talked about it a lot, and found out that social media is like the thing that we use the most now, and that's obvious for our generation. That's like I'd say normal thing, but the problems that are caused by the social media, I'd say, and we found out that the self-love is really like a huge topic, and you can see it everywhere. But what exactly does it mean? I'd say that it's not always like black and white. It's not like there's a lot of people telling you to love yourself, but what exactly does it mean, and how to? So we kind of focused on how self-love is presented, and also what it really means, I'd say.
And it was really fun doing research and choosing your own topic, because you feel actively, it feels like you're actively contributing to the project. And the end result really feels like one that is made by the team, not just the director, and you're not just a puppet that gets told, this is what you need to do. And that's kind of how we should look at climate change. We have to do this together.
The first day of spring is upon us. Soon we'll see the sun rising over the horizon, sharing its light and warmth with Eden. With us.
A radio play is a theatrical play, but it's only audio. It's not visual. So we kind of try to create a world where you can listen to, and it's like you walk through what we have created. We have created a garden. The work title is Eden, so the garden from Adam and Eve. But there are only women allowed. When you first enter the garden and you listen to the audio, you think, wow, this is a really nice place to be. I want to be here. And as a man, I can imagine you feel excluded. You think, why am I not allowed here? I want to be here. It's so beautiful. I hear all these noises. We are recording noises for...
Yeah, what noises? How do you do that?
We went into nature.
Cool.
So I recorded birds and all of that stuff. When we used the nature sounds, it was a little too literal. It was, oh yeah, that's a bird, okay. And when we used the fabricated noises, it really triggered our imagination. Yeah, you have to trigger the imagination because you can't see anything, you just hear things. So it must be, you have to create a world. You can't just put some noises and hope that people know what you are trying to do.
Why do you think that it's important that you make this radio play?
Well, it's a really big subject among youngsters mostly Gen Z. It's about climate change and gender inclusivity and body image, for example. And in the radio play we try to include those subjects. We tried mostly to involve gender, because that we are all interested in gender. With theater and this creativity, you can, in another way than just talking, let people hear about it and what you think about it. We would have different opinions or different views on the world, but we're really all just youngsters who are very woke and how do you say it, like progressive. So there are discussions, but we're not on very different levels.
My name is Rosa. I'm 24 years old and I'm a music theater maker and performer, working at the Theaterschip for 1.5 years as a theater maker. And now I'm participating in a project FuN and specifically Sixpack, which is part of the big international project. From every country there are 2 people traveling to work together for a week. So from every country there's a professional and a semi-professional or student who participates in a project, and together we create a new performance about activism and climate change. For me, working internationally as a theater maker and as a performer, it's really interesting because you work with people from different countries with different perspectives on social issues mostly, and on life in general and art. So for me that is a very enriching experience in which you can make way different things than when you are in your own art bubble in the Netherlands and with the same people working, which is also really important, I think. But going away from that and making something in a really strange environment that you don't know, with people you don't know, that are from different cultural backgrounds, I think that is, for me, that is a really enriching experience. Jacob, the director, he gave us little assignments to work on small performances about activism, and specifically he chose this subject, which I thought was very interesting, about the paintings that got attacked by climate activists with paint or with glue. Jacob, he asked us to destroy a painting, a print of a painting, a really big one, the Primavera by Botticelli, which is a big topic in our performance, and to like ritually destroy it with paint, with glue, with everything we had. And that was kind of a shock to us when he told us about it, like we are going to destroy it, and it symbolizes actually the spring that is going away and that is being destroyed by us humans. And I was a little bit shocked by this idea, but I also liked it, and when we did it, it was very, very powerful. It was a really powerful message, and to have this idea of this more symbolic destruction of art and to make people think about what's valuable and what's valuable to me and what don't I want to be destroyed. For me, that was a really powerful idea. So our performance actually was a lot about the destruction of artworks, or no, not the destruction, but the attacks on artworks, because actually no artwork was destroyed by activists. And this was an important part of our discussion, because we discussed this and we don't agree with the destruction of art in general, because we are artists and we love art, of course, so we don't want to destroy it. Also, for symbolic value, it's not something to be destroyed in that sense. But the activists who attacked the artworks always thought a lot about how to do it, to not destroy the artwork, but just glue themselves to the glass in front of the artwork. So in that sense, it has this symbolic value of the kind of, it looks like a destruction of the art, but it's not. And it symbolizes the threatening of the earth and the threatening of art, and how much it is worth to us, the art, and the world. So for us, the destruction of, at the end of our performance, the painting, which is a replica just on paper of the real painting Primavera, is the threatening of the real art piece, but it's not the real art piece, it's just a replica. So it's a different way. I think the symbol is really in there by threatening the artwork, but not really destroying the artwork, because I think destruction never is a good way of symbolizing something. For this project, what I think I can take is a lot about activism in art, because I always thought of myself as a bad activist in that way, because I don't go to a lot of protests. I'm not, in my art, I'm not the one who's shouting, change the world. But through this project and working with people who are really activists and who take that in their art and make artivism in that way, I actually found that that I can really take that with me in my art and maybe take more of that activistic standpoint with me.
That there is a really individual community and how we are building on this collectiveness. It's also important to step out of your bubble, out of your comfort zone, and to see that the world is not just in this small city or in this small village, but that is much bigger and that we are more connected than we think. And to gain knowledge, to gain experience working in international circles and international environments. It can be in a way that you realize that what you know and what you assume, it cannot be the same in the Czech Republic or in the Netherlands. It's like, yeah, we do this like this, and it's like, what? Can you explain it a bit more? It's also important to, at the same time, see how similar we are. That even though we are having different problems, that in a way we are more alike than we think. And that they're getting knowledge and experience with different mentors, with different youngsters, with different approaches. So I think there's a lot of pluses, or like one giant plus. So that's why we're always at the Glade Theatre, even in other projects, we're trying to open up the field for discussion, for creation, just in general in life, because it's not just about you, it's about the whole world in a way. And we are more connected than we think.
Yeah, I hope that the performance feels refreshing, because it's such a topic that's maybe even been over-discussed. Always the same conversation. I hope this brings new, fresh air to the topic, yeah.
But for me, it's a project where I can share my experiences and opinions and stuff that bothers me maybe with other young people, and make art of my complaints. So I can perform it as a art and not just be always complaining about something.
And it's also with other countries, so you...
And also, I can like get to know the other points of view from other people and get to know other people. Obviously, I think that's the most fun part of it. that we like meet other people, and I think that's also really fun.
Temperature 14 degrees Celsius and rising. Humidity 80%. Commencing rain in T-2 minutes.